that is driven by your testosterone levels. And today he's a professional bodybuilder at the age of 60. So, there are a lot of inspiring stories out there for men that are able to live their best life in, with the way they are today. And, just having more energy, being more active in society, and being in even better moods is all due to your testosterone levels.
Hey, Amna, I'm so excited to have you on our episode of Desi Men Finally Talking. We've known each other for a little bit, but today I really want to focus more on your business venture and what you're about to embark on. It's really critically related to our audience, which is Desi men in their middle age. So excited to have you. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Yusuf. It's quite an honor. I know we've known each other in different capacities, but this is great. I'm really excited to be able to talk about this.
Yes, and just to drop a hint, you have a bench press in the back, and your whole business venture is about making people healthier and making people stronger. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But before we get to that, let's tell our audience a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about where you started, where you're coming from, and then maybe a little bit about your professional background.
Yeah, the bench press was placed quite strategically there, Yusuf. But, so I've had a background in healthcare interior design. I've worked with large healthcare systems across the Pacific and Mountain region, helping them through their operations and through their patient experience, really. And then, I always had this bug about doing my own thing and being, trying to find a business that, would accelerate what I really believed in and what I wanted to do. So I kept coming to healthcare, and I looked at all kinds of businesses, and I kept coming back to healthcare because I felt that, in the healthcare space, there's a lot of focus that is given to women. And not that I'm complaining, but, we do tend to ignore men. And there isn't something that is strategically designed for wellness when it comes to men. And, when I found this business model, it just made complete sense because on the other hand, I had my husband who was, seeking a solution for his symptoms that were pretty much, that zeroed in on having low testosterone. And he just was, very frustrated with the process that he had to endure to be able to get the treatment that he needed. And, I just happened to find this venture that's a new concept that started out in California, actually. And, it just made complete sense. And I was really, lucky that I was able to kind of jump on the bandwagon there.
So I knew from the get-go you're creative, you're entrepreneurial, you're a very focused person, but it was something that hit close to home that really prompted this particular venture. You're so talented, you could have done so many things, but this particular one was you were focused on a problem that you knew something about.
That's right. I mean, I had, my husband at home with me, and obviously he was just kind of trying to find that, solution for himself. And it was an aggravating process. And, what we're able to do with the business that I've kind of joined hands with, Gameday Mens Health, it's really streamlined that process. And a business is always good when you're able to find a solution. So, I mean, when I saw my husband and the experience that he'd had with his procedure and everything, and then, I wanted to be part of something, like I mentioned, a wellness journey, something that really focused on, helping men feel their best. And, Gameday Mens Health does exactly that. So that really kind of, tied both those ends for me. And it just made complete sense that, it was exactly what I was looking for. So, I was just super happy that, I was able to kind of join hands. I was able to kind of jump in at the right time. And, it's just been a fun ride so far.
So tell us what the business is about. How do you specifically help people? But before you do that, the first part of the question is, how did you come across this franchise, and why did you decide to go with this rather than the other franchises and businesses focused on men's health?
So I saw a whole bunch of businesses. I mean, I was, at first I was looking at dog grooming, and that's a brilliant business too. But, I just wanted to do something where I was part of a bigger picture, where I was part of something that helped people. When it comes to healthcare, a lot of times people think about alleviating some kind of pain or some kind of issue. But here it's a different mindset. It's about helping people who want to get better, who know that the steps that they would take today for their wellness journey will help them in their later years. And, why not start that process now? Why not be at a point where we can, together educate people, create awareness that there are these solutions out there. And they're easy to attain, they're easy to acquire, and the results are often super successful. And, we're seeing that time and time again, and quite immediate as well. So it's really a no-brainer, and it just really makes me proud to be part of something that is towards something that in healthcare often it's all about solving a problem, and we're definitely solving one here, and even preventing one. Gameday Mens Health is a franchise business that started out in California in 2018. What's exciting about it is that they've actually sold 800 locations. Okay. And so it's a big brand. It's really emerging into the market, and we're not there yet, but by the summer they should be, we're scheduled to open 100 locations across the country, and by the end of the year, 200. So, we're growing really fast, and the success behind the business really is how they're able to streamline that business model. So a patient comes in, we offer them free testing of testosterone, and we can see the results. We get the results within 25 minutes. We have a nurse practitioner, licensed medical professional, and they're able to see the results and kind of prescribe a treatment plan for them. It's a membership model. They have 3 ways to get administered. They can come in weekly to the clinic to get shots. We can insert pellets, so it's a 3-month cycle, or we can even mail medication at home.
Oh, wow. And then typically, is it a middle-aged male who comes in for help?
So it's amazing. I just read the statistic quite recently that 40% of men by the age of 45 will have low T.
Wow.
And that's an astounding number. And 1 in 4 men over 30 in the US already have low testosterone levels.
Wow.
So, typically a lot of people think that this happens at an older age, but, our environment really affects those levels now. The food we eat, all kinds of different factors are affecting the levels. When a male is born, he's born with a certain level of testosterone, and as they age, that gets depleted. But with today, the environment we live in, the food we eat, etc., it's depleting much faster. So, a lot of times men generally think that this is a question about their manhood, whereas it's a medical concept. It's a medical issue that needs treatment, and there's an easy solution out there. And there's so many symptoms that this is affected by. I mean, you have, it's not just low libido, but it is also low energy levels, brain fog, bone density. A lot of people had initially thought that, prostate cancer is caused by testosterone, but that's not the case either. In fact, it's not even correlated. So there are a lot of different things that testosterone can help you feel your best, and not to mention your muscle mass as well. So testosterone really affects a lot of different symptoms in a man's life. A lot of people think it's low libido, but there's so many other things as well. There's brain fog, there's muscle mass, your sleep, bone density. In the past, there was a myth that, prostate cancer was caused by testosterone, but that's been proven to not be the case either. So, just being able to feel your best, having that energy where you're able to kind of do a lot of things. I met this guy recently that just blew me away. He was 385 pounds and just did not have the energy to do much. So he always thought that he wanted to get on a diet and get more healthy, but he didn't know how. So he started taking testosterone. He got checked for testosterone. Sure enough, it was low. And he got on a testosterone, program. And suddenly he had this energy. And so he was like, okay, I just can't be sitting anymore. I want to go out for a walk. So he started, introducing a walk into his daily routine. That wasn't good enough anymore. So he added the elliptical. that wasn't doing it for him
So
either.
that's an indication of increased energy, right?
Increased energy and being able to just have that willpower and that fire in you where you want to do more, you want to be active,
Ah,
and that is driven by your testosterone levels. And today he's a professional bodybuilder at the age of 60.
oh my
So
God.
there are a lot of inspiring stories out there for men that are able to live their best life in with the way they are today, and just having more energy, being more active in society, and being in even better moods is all due to your testosterone levels.
Yeah. And how do you get past the stigma around this? I know you mentioned initially that people say it's an issue with libido and all these other kind of tongue-in-cheek jokes and all that about testosterone. But so how do you explain it to people? How do you, in your experience, how have you gotten around the issue of let's get past the stigma and talk about how tangibly this can help you?
The stigma is very much there. I'm not going to deny it. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of education that needs to happen in this space because it is a medical issue. Your testosterone levels that affect certain aspects of your life is proven in your blood levels. I mean, it's something that can be cured. And the more education that we have around it, the more awareness that we're able to create, I think that stigma will slowly go away.
Mm.
And I think it's very necessary for us, even not just in the South Asian demographic, but just
Population at large, absolutely.
at large. It just needs to be something that we talk about more often, and not isolate somebody that they have low testosterone, the symptoms that are caused by it, that it's a question about their manhood. It's not. It's a medical issue.
Yeah, and the other question that comes to mind specifically about you, Amna, you being a woman getting into this business, have you gotten any strange questions and, oh, why are you going into this business? And how can you possibly relate to a man's problem, this, that, and the other? So how have you dealt with those?
It's funny you say that. It's something that I've often shied away from until I learned more about it. And now I really understand that when you take away the male female part of it, and you're treating a medical issue, it's not about the fact that I'm a woman and that I can't understand. I do understand all the different symptoms that men face, and I find that there's a cure out there. And I'm just so energized about being able to kind of tell people about it, so that they're able to kind of solve all their issues that way.
So people's lifestyles must be truly enhanced. And it doesn't seem like some people think even like plastic surgery is like a nice to have. It's something, oh, you're just looking to enhance yourself. You're fine the way you are. This is not one of those. This is something that can really change a person's routine. It can change relationships. It can change how you see yourself. It can change what you're capable of doing in life.
Absolutely. I mean, again, you mentioned plastic surgery. That's something that we do changes for aesthetic purposes on the outside. This is taking care of your insides. So it's about feeling good from the inside out. And that is when real change happens.
Yeah, yeah. That is terrific. I have so much admiration for you to take this on, to talk about it so articulately and convincingly and I think a lot of people who are listening can really benefit. How do people get in touch with you about Gameday? How about you're in the Houston community, but in general, if anyone's watching anywhere, how do they get to know more about this?
So the best way would probably be to go on our website. So it's GamedayMensHealth.com. And we, like I mentioned, they've sold 800 locations across the country. So there's probably a game day close to anybody that's watching and listening to this. And you're able to kind of, find your location according to your zip code and book an appointment. I highly encourage you to get your levels tested. It's a free test, and you can then decide if this is right for you or not.
Awesome. Amna, thank you so much for coming on. and explaining all this to me. It was truly eye-opening for me as well. And I wish you the best of luck in your business, and hopefully we can have a conversation 6 months to a year down the line. You can tell me all about your 5 some odd locations and how many people you've helped.
I look forward to that. And thank you so much for having me. This has been a pleasure.
Thanks, Amna. Take care.
Take care.